brand new developments I want to bring you in the case of the white woman who for years has portrayed herself as a black woman. Her name is Rachel Dolezal. She's the president of the Spokane, Washington NAACP chapter, at least until very, very recently, meaning this is breaking news. She has decided to step down. I want to bring in our correspondent, Stephanie Elam, who's live on the phone with us right now. So how did this news become available to us? Has she released this? Has she got more to say about this issue?
Well, yeah, she's making it clear, and most everything that they've been saying is since I've been here in Spokane, they've been pretty quiet. Dolezal has not been talking to people publicly. All statements have been coming through their Facebook page, and this is another case of that below, where basically she's making the case that this has become a bigger issue around the world about her identity and how she identifies herself, and less about the things that need to be focused on here. So she's saying she is removing herself from that conversation because of this unexpected firestorm, as she put it. But there were people here over the weekend who were supportive of her, and then you also saw over the weekend that things began to change when there was a scheduled meeting for tonight, and it was canceled over the weekend. Then it became clear that one of the members of the local chapter here was not okay with that, and sent her a letter saying that we can't just arbitrarily cancel a meeting. So it was clear that there were things that were changing here, and not everyone was not on the same page.
All right, I'm actually just looking at this statement that you were just referring to. I've just had it handed to me, and I just want to read a little bit of it if I can. It says, "Dear Executive Committee and NAACP members, this is a statement from Rachel Dolezal. It is a true honor to serve in the racial and social justice movement here in Spokane and across the nation. Many issues face us now that drive at the theme of urgency: police brutality, biased curriculum in schools, economic disenfranchisement, health inequities, and a lack of pro-justice political representation." She goes on to say, "And yet the dialogue has unexpectedly shifted internationally to my personal identity in the context of defining race and ethnicity. I have waited in deference while others express their feelings, beliefs, confusions, and even conclusions absent the full story." Stephanie, this quote continues, and I'll continue in a moment, but I want to stop right at absent the full story. Is she giving the full story? Is she answering the big question? We've seen the quote where we've seen the clip where a reporter asks her point blank, "Are you African American?" And she says, "I don't understand the question," and walks away. What is the full story?
That is the billion-dollar question at this point, because these questions have not been directly answered, right? Even in this statement, it's still not clear where she stands on this to explain what's going on with the family, and there's no doubt about it. There's interesting family dynamics happening here among all of the Dolezals. But still, even in this letter, she does not address that, and at the end of it, she makes it also very clear that she's going to continue fighting for human rights, and she says that it's about moving the cause of human rights and the Black liberation movement along the continuum from resistance to chattel slavery to abolition of, or to defiance of Jim Crow, to the building of Black Wall Street, to the civil rights and Black power movement, to Black Lives Matter. So she's still talking about the issues that have been at the forefront of what her career has been built on. That seems to not be changing, but the actual question about her racial identity, and it's a question that, quite frankly, it sparked so many interesting conversations, not just here in Spokane, because I've heard people, I've been here all weekend, I've listened to people just walking around. They're talking about it here, but they're talking about it around the world, because there's a lot of people who feel like you can't just walk in and decide to adopt what it means to be Black instead of living that life story. And that is why this conversation continues to come up, and that's why people care.
Okay, you have just heard the resignation of Miss Rachel Dolezal. I believe that's how you say her last name, but I'm going to just call her Miss Rachel because I hate butchering people's last names. And I'm sure all of you around the world have heard of Miss Rachel as the white woman pretending to be Black, the white woman that her parents recently came out and told everyone that she is white. A little bit of history that you may not have known. Miss Rachel's parents did adopt several Black children. So Rachel did grow up in surrounded by black people in her own home. Miss Rachel went to and graduated from and actually got her master's from a prestigious black university, Howard University. She then went on to head up a chapter in Spokane, Washington, as the president of a chapter of the NAACP. Now, my thoughts on Miss Rachel. It's human beings are the most difficult creatures on the earth to understand. My thoughts on Miss Rachel is she is someone struggling to find in her own identity. I don't know if it stems from her childhood of her parents adopting black children. I don't know if it's, I don't want to say if it's some type of mental issue that she has, because split personality, dual personality disorder, schizophrenia. I don't want to go that far, but I see a woman that is struggling to find her own identity. And like I said, human beings are the most difficult creatures on the face of the earth to figure out, because we're rash, we're irrational, we're 1 minute we're this way, 1 minute we're that way. We do things for absolutely no reason at all. And here you have this this smart, successful woman who obtained a master's degree from a prestigious university, and she's actually married to a black man and has mixed children. And we've all seen the a couple of news reports, one where she was straight up asked the question, are you black? And she says she doesn't understand the question, and she walks away. And then we see her with a news reporter sitting behind a desk, and she was pretty much asked the same question, but she's asked, is she African American? And she says she doesn't like being labeled that, and she would prefers to be called black, yada, yada, yada. We've seen all this stuff before. But my thoughts on Miss Rachel is a woman that is trying to find her own identity, but went about it the wrong way. Now, it's not illegal to go around. I'm a black man. I can go around saying I'm white all I want. It's not illegal, but her resignation. I mean, I'm sure you have to apply for the job to get a job at the NAACP like you do at any other job. And I'm sure that, on application, it asks, I guess I haven't filled out an application in a while, but, where it says race. I mean, I'm just wondering, if she checked black or white or whatever she checked. I don't think her resignation should have came about because she lied and told everybody that she was black. I think her resignation should have came about if she broke some type of rule in order to get that job. Like, if she told, you can't you can't be discriminated against and not go to Howard University because you're white or because you're Asian or because you're Indian or Native American. You can't, no institution in the country can deny you entry into a school because of your race. So she and just like Howard University, the NAACP or any other business or not or organization in the United States, it would be illegal for them to not accept her because she's white. So what I don't understand about Miss Rachel is why pretend to be black when you could have reached those levels that you already reached by just admitting that you're white. I mean, like I said, you can get into Howard if you're white. You can work and be the president of a chapter of the NAACP if you're white. You're not allowed to be discriminated against your race in any type of institution or company or your job where you work at. It's not allowed. And I also think that if she did all of this without this lie that she told everybody, I mean, I've seen pictures of this chick, you know, basically in dark face. I've seen pictures of her in cornrows. I've seen pictures of her, posted up against, African pictures. And, it's okay for you to be down for the cause. She would have been a lot better off if she just would have told the truth and just been down to help out black people, which are, which everybody knows by now is a big underserved uh, uh, demographic in America. If she would have just stayed a white woman and being down for the cause and help out blacks, she would have been heralded even more than just lying about it and making up this story that she's black. And like I said, human beings are the most complicated creatures on the face of the earth. Nobody knows why this woman did what she did except for her. She might not even know. Maybe she'll write a book one day. Maybe she'll come out and try to explain why she did the things that she did. But nobody really knows why this woman, pulled this type of lie for all of this time. You could have helped out the black cause by being a white woman. And that's my thoughts on Rachel and her resignation. Let me know what you guys think. This is Kentucky with my thoughts on, and I will give you my thoughts on the next topic really soon. Peace.